Okay, these are your ocean currents. Okay. Now, eventually, that debris and garbage is going to come in through the North Pacific Current, and you're going to start seeing dead bodies and debris and stuff washing up on the shore over here on the West Coast. It's just a matter of time. So it just stay away from that stuff, man. It's probably gonna be radioactive and stuff. Let the agencies that are involved to go out there and clean that stuff up do that, okay? Don't think you're going to pick up a bunch of yen or a floating safe or something. Just leave that garbage alone, okay? It ain't worth it. Um, the thing is you have this one area over here. It's called the Dragon Triangle. Now, this is a magnetic problem here on Earth. So you have the North and South Pole, okay? You have the North and South Pole. But what you don't understand is over here off the coast of Japan, over here, is you have an area that's more deadly than the Bermuda Triangle, and on the same line as the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, both of them send out magnetic disturbances. The compasses go bad, and other effects happen. Okay, so that will be your magnetic field disruption area. Okay, not your north and south, but this is like a north and or like an east and a west magnetic field disturbance that goes through the earth. So it's a different set of things, okay? And you got to take them all into account. Okay, this is my map of your Earth's ocean without the ocean in it. Okay, you remove the ocean, and it will show you your trench lines. The Earth's like the moon. You remove all the water off it. It's all land. It's all land. So it's like the glaciers that are leaving that water area. Man, it's leaving a land location. That land starts to rebound up, and you start seeing the shorelines extend. Okay, here's South China, and here's the Philippine Basin, and right in this area you've got your uh, magnetic field problem with what they call the Dragon Triangle, and you have some of the deepest trenches in the world. Now, when you have an earthquake of a 9 magnitude that lasts, and Japan is no stranger to huge earthquakes. They had one during World War II that wiped out more people than both atom bombs together. Okay, that's a very highly active region of the planet, and when you got all this water coming through here, and you saw the ocean current, okay, those currents put major pressure on that area. Man, it was a gimme. And you got like Mount Fuji that used to erupt every 30 years. Well, it hasn't erupted in 300 years. You got a big problem, okay, a monster problem. But here's your west coast, and you have the Murray fracture zone. You got all these different fracture zones, okay? Because you have to look at the planet like that into sections, split into sections, and then you'll have your trenches, okay, and your rises. So you're seeing a pressure on this fracture zone going into to Nevada right now. The Nevada residents, I wouldn't be too fearful. Okay, you just have your basic, readiness and stuff, but the main problem is going to be here on the coastline. Okay. I love you guys very much. Information shock resistance. Have a plan. If a big one does happen on Cascadia, it will be a big one. Uh, if you're within 30 miles of the shore, you're going to have problems. So, so have your little, cell phone thingies, that have the earthquake instant warning messenger thingy, so you can just, book, get to high ground. The problem is your nuclear power plants, and they really need to take them out. Now, why the hell Japan ever put nuclear power plants on their location, okay, is raw evil. Okay, that's it. It's raw evil, because that stuff, you're going to have another big quake over there. That's a gimme, and this is just from the science. Okay? It's all pressure and weight. Okay? Pressure and weight. And these are all projections, you know. And I've been dead on these things, and you know, I'm always going to give God the glory because it's His, and even the earth's going to tremble in fear at His presence. Okay, so you know, hey, but there's a science for anyone who doesn't believe. I want you pushed out of the way too, and I want our seas to remain there. The ocean is bigger than the landmass. As far as covered up landmass through water. So, it's very important to understand that if you're looking just at oh, just my one little area, no, and whatever affects something over here is going to affect something down here, and vice versa. But that's what it is, man. And I love you guys very much. And hopefully, I bought a roll of stamps, and I'm going to send out a group of business cards to each one of you, hopefully here. And then you can pass it around to family members, friends. They can come over to the site, check it out, check the science out, review the links. Okay, they're all from credible sources, and they can look at my predictions and projections and validate it that way too. Okay? You guys have a good one. Okay, I'm going to bust out one of my big USGS maps. Zone you in right over here. Okay, you have the San Andreas Fault moving right through there. You have the Hayward Fault. You have your area over here in Arizona, and yeah, I know what rock structures are underneath these areas, and all the elevation levels, and in the older maps it'll actually show you where the ocean floor is sinking off the coast. Okay, they omit that from these maps now, and as you have all the ocean currents, how they'll move and swirl within it. But over here, up here above the Cascadia Fault, these are all locations that are actually sinking off your coast. You have various little faults too, all run all the way up and down and around through here. Okay, but hey man, it comes down to this: whatever you measure out will be measured back to you. So you measure out love, love's measured back. You measure out hope, hope's measured back. I mean, it just works that way. Okay, you measure out hate, it gets measured back. You stonewall someone, then it gets measured back, and there's a lot of things happening right now. We got to stay focused on this. Okay. Anyway, your area it's a system of lakes that run in through here through Sacramento, and then where you're having your earthquake swarm over here in Nevada is right over here. Okay, but this is a geological map of California. Okay, I just want you to know, man, and I'm staying on top of this stuff, man. There's a lot of numbers involved and stuff. You got a whole bunch of rivers that are starting to form over here off the coast of LA, and over here on this one area just above there. I got a report from a house person that there's homes that are actually starting to sink. Okay, and I'm getting the same reports up there in Washington, where houses are actually breaking away from the side. I just got back in. I'm just throwing this onto this video as a caveat. I already had other stuff on this. You're going to have a problem with the magnetic field because you're in orbital wobble, and this basically runs across where where you got the Bermuda Triangle on that side, and then you got the Dragon Triangle on the other side. But like I say, it's like east-west, and then you got north and south. So it's an intersector point. That's what makes these areas, even more critical to pay attention to. But it's not to get you scared. Like they'll just let it happen and then do damage control afterwards. I want you to have a plan. Okay, have a plan. Be ready. Make sure that you don't have items hanging over your walls, that could clunk in the head, and if a nuclear plant does go down, okay, don't just try to take off and run, okay. That stuff's going to go airborne. You're better off if you have a basement, go in a basement or a center of a building, because most of the roads are going to be broken up. You're just going to expose yourself to more radiation during the initial event. So these are other things that you want to think about, okay? As you have a whole bunch of things going on, not only in space, but and they got their stupid what's it called out of CERN. CERN's your player, man. I've heard scalar and this and that and the other, but man, it's Alice that's messing with it, man. Oh, welcome to Wonderland. But you will add. There's a way to tell if it was caused by it. Now, it it it's very because they're manipulating light. Okay, so you'll actually see. It'll look like a split screen or something. But like one of the people that I've noticed his video, he'd done a great job with it. I think he'd done a fantastic job with it. And I believe that did take down the World Trade Centers. It's makes more sense than anything I've heard. But there's ways of telling. Okay. So anyhow, but this is going to be natural. There you got a lot of weight in this ocean right now. Water's super heavy, and we already know for a fact that areas of the coastline are sinking. Ocean sinks, coast tilts. So it's continental rebound. It'll pull out. It'll extend. But especially around landfill and stuff, where they just filled it in. Because man, these rich don't care. They don't. Anyway, I love you. Information shock resistance. Be maximum for love. You know, and try to walk in the four absolutes. Absolute unselfishness, absolute love. Just go find out what the absolutes are. And have a really great day, guys. I'll be on Oracle Broadcasting at 6 o'clock West Coast time, and we'll talk about a lot more of this stuff. Have a good one. Oh yeah, I forgot. Because of the rock matrix, okay, it's like the World Series earthquake that dropped